Yeah. Here they come. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Big welcome to you all. We're going to just, there's going to be a little bit of preamble for a moment or two while people come into the room. This call is being recorded, so anybody, well, it's no good saying anybody that isn't here, is it? You'll all have the recording of this within 24, 48 hours, I guess. We've got a very special guest with us today. You can see his face on the screen, I imagine. Justin is going to come out presently. If you're on a computer and your camera's turned off, you are encouraged to take your cursor down to the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom window, where you will see a start video button. Okay, and you're very welcome to come out. It makes the call a bit more interactive. We like to see you all. That's good. Thank you for doing that, Chris. Yeah, good attendance tonight. Okay, so we're recording this call. We've got Mitch and Mike are together there. Look, do you want to come out and say hello and introduce yourselves, guys?
Hi guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Mike Jakes. I've been with this community, with this training platform for 5 years now, very nearly, and completely changed my life from my previous life, which was 30 years in the corporate rat race, burnt out wreck, and no time for me and my life. So my life was destroyed by a divorce because I was focusing on work so much. And that was the point. That was the epiphany that gave me a redirection to change my life, to find something new. And online business was what I found through this community. So I've replaced my previous multiple six-figure income. I now have time freedom. I now have time to spend with my loved ones, with my family. I now live the life I wish I'd been living for the previous 30 years. So if any of those things are the things that you're looking for, time freedom, financial freedom, just some sort of control over your life, then I think you guys are in the right place. And yeah, and I'm now down in Portugal with Mitch, who's one of my students, and over to Mitch.
Yeah, I joined the system for similar reasons. I got tired of working in my corporate job. I think a lot of people have that. You work harder, you think you get cleverer, you don't get much more salary, but worst of all, your time disappears. They take your time for anything, and you end up working during the week and during the weekends. And so I threw it all in and set a guest house up out here in the Alentejo. And I thought, that'll be a brilliant life. Got it wrong. I've never worked so hard in my life. And then along came COVID in 2020, and that kind of did me in, because I had no income, no way of getting income, no way of getting to different way to earn an income, and I was stuck. And that's when I saw a video of this man, funnily enough, Mike Jakes. And I followed the video and I joined the same training that you've all joined. And now what I found is working with people like Mike, that's why he's here. We're shooting new videos, we're discussing editing, we're learning. That's what it keeps on happening. We keep on learning. Mike's helping me. I'm trying to rebuild my guest house training site, and I'm here criticizing my videos. I like my job. Anyway, that's what we're up to, and it really helps, setting up teams, working together, and that's what we're up to. Back to you, Jumping John.
Okay, oh yeah, I was just typing a little message into chat. Yeah, so I think if people would be good enough at the outset to any questions you've got for Justin, just get them in the chat and we'll deal with them in order. Okay, we'll try and be as democratic about this as we can. So anything you've got for Justin, please type it in the chat. There should be a little red dot has appeared on the bottom of your screen to oh, what's the word I'm looking for? The brain's gone. To identify where the chat is. Yeah, just open that up and you'll see you know, there'll be questions and answers and comings and goings.
John, for people who don't know you, do you want to tell them a little bit about you and your very short backstory before we move on to Justin?
Yeah, I mean, just over 3 years ago, I was making wooden furniture, and I'm a school dropout, and I've bummed around doing all sorts of jobs in my life. And I mean, I think the one quality I do have is this: I've sort of done so many things that I think I've got a confidence in myself. But that doesn't make me any different from anybody else on this call. I think we're all capable of anything we put our minds to. And when I came into the program in 2020, yeah, I was in such a bad place. I was breathing very fine sawdust, which is carcinogenic, and both of my parents died of cancers, and it's just a horrible way to go. And it was lonesome work, it was solitary, it was underpaid. In the winters in Italy, I mean, we think of Italy and al fresco dining in the sunshine, you know, lots of Chianti and happy days. But I was lighting the fire every day for 6 months of the year. It was brutal, and you know, I was suffering, and it was becoming heavier, going to the sawmill and shifting great big balks of timber. You know, so I looked at my pension forecast on the government website when lockdown came along, because I thought, well, that's something I can look forward to, and then I realised how little it was, and that was the point at which I knew I had to do something else to sort of better prepare financially for the future. Yeah, and that's when I discovered that, you know, the advert popped up at the right time, and it's been a journey, it's been a stretch, you know, but Sir Edmund Hillary said on being interviewed after he conquered Everest, "We do not conquer the mountain, we conquer ourselves." And it's just about carrying on, putting one foot in front of the other, determination. Hang on in there. You've got everything you need, guys. You know, this is such an amazing, uplifting community, and people are willing to help and yeah, make connections, get plugged in. And I've now moved to a sunnier country. I have a lovely lifestyle, and it's given me a new family, really, this community. It's given me a whole new life. So I'm feeling emotional now. So I think that's the point. I think that's the point. Are any questions appearing in chats for Justin? Because if they're not, we're gonna call him out. And
Well, there's an interesting and non-challenging one for Justin to start with.
okay.
A couple of folks in America saying, "Can we make some of the calls earlier?" So I joined Accelerate a few weeks ago, and I'm in Arizona. It's the only time that Discover You is offered is at 2 a.m. in December and 4 a.m. in January. Is there any chance they can be scheduled at a better US time? At least some of the calls. Over to Justin.
Yeah, I'm sure we can have the coaches be flexible in how they do the timing of those calls. So I can kick that up to the team, Mary Lou, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Well, all
Yeah,
right.
I
Good.
can
Well, look. What could I just would like to ask Justin one question just before we get into your questions, and you know, we may call you out as well. So don't you know, get your questions in there. But Justin, you've been in this space for a long time now. You've seen people come in to the program and go on to bigger and better things. You've seen people come in and carve out a living and a new life for themselves as affiliates, and you've seen other people fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit, please, if you don't mind, about the qualities that you see in people that separate the winners from the losers, let's say.
God, it's a great question. And and that's we can go a lot of different ways with that, but I'm going to try to condense that down to, I want to say, an understanding, a feeling. In life, you know, we heard this, I don't even know if it's a proverb, I don't even know what it is, but it's like, we know what we know what we don't know, and we don't know what we don't know. I think when people are very open, vulnerable to stepping into what they don't know about what they don't know about themselves, about a skill set, about a belief system, about a principle, about life, and we don't let uncertainty, we don't let a negative spin on uncertainty rule the roost, those people win. At any point, you have scarcity creep in, you give yourself a no. Like, think about how many times on your journey you give yourself a no because of fear. I don't want to get rejected. I'm not ready to put that campaign out there yet. I'm scared to invest in my marketing budget. I'm scared to spend that money. I don't know if I'll get the return. I'm scared to invest in myself. I'm scared to do this. Well, what if I act for 3 months in a row and I don't get the result? Does that work? I mean, we come to all these scenarios, and the people who win, they're not scared. They may be scared, but they step into it. They deal with it. They just keep going in spite of uncertainty or fear. And I'll zero in on this, but in a general framework, if you were to sit me down in a room and interview somebody, I know if they're going to succeed or not. I know. I can tell you right away if they're going to win or not. It's a mindset. It's a perspective. And to make it even simpler, here's what it is. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to reach the goal that you have? And chances are, whatever it takes is going to include the thing you fear the most. Are you going to do that? Those people who do that win every time. So, I mean, you know, you guys want to ask me questions. It's like, ask me a question on how you can step into the thing you fear the most. If you're really looking for transformation, I'd be happy to help you. I had the fears. If it was, you know, marketing budget, investing in myself, taking action, saying this story that I never said before, shooting a video, holy crap, the ideology of that, like, sometimes it's crippling. But in a general mindset and approach, if I sit down and somebody's, they're willing to do what it takes, it doesn't mean they're foolish. It doesn't mean they're haphazard in their discernment or action taking, but their mindset is, I'm stepping into it. That person's going to win. And I think it's the person with no experience that comes up with all these reasons on why they give themselves a no, and they think it's best for them, but they don't really know because they haven't done it before. Your ego's a really slick, cunning manipulator. Your ego is, all of our egos are, to ourselves mostly, right? We lie to ourselves the most. We hold ourselves unaccountable the most. You know, it's that relationship with us, the honesty minus that fear, that are we willing to stand in it? Because if I were to ask people, like, let's say there's an obstacle, and I would speak outside of themselves and talk about what does it take to succeed, they're going to tell me. They know what success is. It's not like they don't. They know how to think. They know what they should be doing if they were to look at it outside themselves. And the next thing we got to peel back is, well, why aren't you stepping into any facet of your business to break through? Because I've seen 70-year-olds do it. I've seen men, women. I've seen people with no education, people with the highest education, people with massive success, I've seen every walk of life do it. And I can zero into like business stuff that'll help you break through. We'll get there. But from like an overarching principle, let me ask this to everybody. What do you feel stopping you? What do you feel you need based on your perspective to win or to break through, to start making the sales that you need? Now, if you just joined and you're like 2 weeks in, just take that with a grain of salt. It's like, but here's why I'll just bring this up. You guys may sense that I'm pretty intense about this stuff, right? It's like, I just can't even help myself. You can even ask like John and Mike or Mitch, like even when we talk about it, I just go from like 0 to 100. I just go there because, yeah, I'm passionate about this stuff. I've been there. I know the essence of what it takes for anyone to break. I've seen the transformation in people. And it's like when I see it in somebody, but they're not seeing it, I just want to like, how come you don't see it? It's like, how come you're not doing it? Tell me why. But that's at a high level. And again, like I can zero in on like the skills and everything that I believe help somebody to break through. But at that higher level, like I can go to Dilt's pyramid. And I don't know if we want to dive into that, but it's like, how do you align to change? You're all here to create an outcome in your business, right? And when you get that environment, your behavior, your skills, your belief system, how you see yourself, and you have a vision, a purpose of what you're, when all these things align to the outcome, you will create success. I'm not going to deviate too much, but I do want to dig in deeper, but I want to pause right now. I want to read some of the chat because I see that kicking up, but I'll pass this back to you, John, or anyone else who wants to.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, John. But Barbara's got a question. Do you want Barbara just to unmute and ask the question to Justin?
Yeah, go ahead, Barbara. Unmute.
All right. Hi, Justin.
Hi.
Hello. I'm just wondering, I'm doing Launch You, and I
Mhm.
am very interested in doing the affiliate program, but I'm wondering, is it best to wait until I can actually afford to do Accelerate with Ignite, or can you actually be successful just doing Launch You with Ignite? And I wonder, have you ever looked at figures to find out how many people, or what gives you the best chance of success? Is it the people who maybe wait until they can even afford gold? Or do you think if you're determined enough, you could just do it with Launch You and Ignite and doing the ambassador program?
Yeah, so I think that I really appreciate you, Barbara, first off, for I think asking a question is probably on a lot of people's minds, and maybe one that people avoid because it's like not addressing it's easier than addressing it sometimes. It's like, but that's that's part of the problem. We got to step in and all these facets of our journey. So I really appreciate you putting that out there. But I'd say this: I don't know what's best for you. I don't know what's best for any of you. I don't. I don't know you. I don't really know you. Can I tell you in principle what I believe is going to put somebody in the best position statistically, the percentage of probability that will be the likelihood of somebody succeeding based on their approach? Sure. I think you can give me that answer if I were to ask you, right? Who do you think is going to succeed higher?
Well,
somebody sticking in with videos and a mastermind, or somebody who's like getting into coaching and surrounding themselves.
I think
and that goes to like, what do you need to win? I'd start there. That's what I would ask you.
Yes. Yeah, I think that answers my question, because I think I would probably need more coaching and more support like that. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is your preference, and it's like we all know that. I mean, I had to have those tough conversations. When do you think I wanted to hear when I spoke? Andrew Cass was my referring affiliate, and he said to me, I was like, Andrew, I want to make 30,000-40,000 a month. That's what I said to him, like my first week. He's like, okay. And this guy was maybe doing like 60 or 70,000 a month at that time. I knew what he was making. And I was friends with him because I was friends with him in the real estate business. And I ironically saw his ad on the internet. This is how I joined. And I don't really share this story. And it's like, I saw his ad. I'm like, what the hell is Andrew doing on the internet? And then like, I got my friend Anthony over. We're looking at this ad. And we're like, what the hell is he selling? What is this? And we kind of like looked at it. We called him. We got on the phone and we joined. Then we had like this conversation. We're like, Andrew, just like, no BS. What's it going to take for us to crush it? Like, we're business people. We don't have to worry about hurting our feelings. What's it going to take? He's like, come in at the highest level, like get the education you need. You need a $15,000 marketing budget, and you need to bust your ass and get on Google pay-per-click. He's like, you need to learn aggressively and get on Google pay-per-click and learn that skill set. That's where everyone's crushing it. And I was like, okay. So around $40,000 and focus on learning Google pay-per-click. And then you're telling me I could build a $30,000 to $40,000 a month business. I was like, done. Give me 2 weeks. I'll call you back. So that's what he tells me. And I'm sitting there. Now, did I want to hear that? Of course. If he could have told me, hey, you don't need to do anything, just learn this. And you're going to, of course, anyone wants to hear less is more. That's not reality. I'm learning from somebody who had eons of experience more than me in this space. And I was humble enough to take his advice, whether I wanted to hear it or not. And I didn't come up with the full $40,000. I had no money. My business was, I was out of business in December 2008. I found this April 2009. I was 4 months out of business. My house was in foreclosure. My truck was repossessed at that point in time. I already lost everything. I wasn't a victim. I didn't sit there, oh, I wish I had the money. Ooh, I can't. I said, I'm not a victim. I'm solving the problem. I'm not going to let that challenge shrivel me. I'm going to step in, and that challenge is going to make me resourceful. I've done it before in my life. That's how I handled it, right? That's how successful people think. And I knew that because I was studying and I was surrounding myself around successful people. I see, well, how would they handle the challenge? They're not going to do it like a victim. They're going to do it like a powerful person. So and that's tough for people to step into. So I had to like step into that in my own psyche, my own belief system. And I came short. I only came up with like 24,000, paid 10,000 for the coaching. And then I had like $13,500, $14,000 for marketing for 6 months. And I invested in another course. And then I had like $9,000 to market to get my business up and running, where I can get the wheel going so I can make enough sales to start reinvesting. And that probably took me 3 months of marketing. That budget, after 3 months of marketing, I was doing around 12 to 18,000 a month in sales, and the rest was history.
Oh.
Every month I would just grow scale. And I'll talk to you about how I did that. I have like one little, I'll show you, like, you're going to be tugged on a lot of things of what, oh, well, I heard Stuart say this, or this person said this. It's very clear, cut, and concise what you have to put your energy to break through. It's people complicate it. It's not that complicated, but it takes focus. It takes a know-how. It takes real understanding, effort, and consistency. Probably what none of us want to hear. It's like, you mean we got to be consistent and do it every day? It's not just going to happen. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of context on how I was brought on board. So I'll just share a little bit there. And, you know, that's the easy part. So I think for me, like, coming up with money, making an investment, buying a program, that's the easy part. You don't deserve anything. I didn't deserve anything by investing in myself. What was I going to do with it? That's the part that matters. Like, the easy part is ponying up or paying. You're entitled to nothing by paying, other than the promise of what you bought. But if it's a transformation product like the gym or education, or, well, what do you get out of it? Well, it's what you put into it. Right.
Isn't these something? Justin has a call on the training calendar called Illuminate Your Potential. I don't know whether you've ever been on there, but you know, this is what Justin's all about. He believes in all of us. There's greatness within you, every single one of you on this call. So Mitch, did you find any other? Well, Barbara, first of all, has that dealt with your inquiry satisfactorily? Yeah, good. You're nodding. You're muted.
Too, Mike.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, go on, Mitch. I think you got other people that you wanted to call out. Is that right, Mitch?
I'm just finding people who are asking a question and then saying their name. So, Saul, to everyone, is it realistic to expect Saul, come out and ask your question to Justin?
Is it realistic to expect to earn a living? Yeah. Hey, Saul, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That sentiment. Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, really, I bought the platinum bundle, and I must admit, but I've been struggling. I'm just confused the whole time as to, am I doing the right things at the right time? And I found it could have stumbled to a halt, and it's like, shit, what do I do? But my initial thoughts, I want to really get going on the ambassador program. I need to earn a living. I've had a bit of a cash cushion, so to tide me over. But yeah, I need to get going. Is it necessary to be thinking at this stage about further businesses, or should I focus purely on the ambassador program until I'm earning a living from it? If that makes any sense.
Great question. So a couple things I'll say. Really appreciate that, Saul. So I want to ask you one question. So you have pretty much everything we offer here. You're a platinum member. Why do you believe, and I'm not saying coming to this with like any negative perspective, it just is what it is. Let's just address it in a graceful way. Why do you believe that you're a little bit disconnected, you're not clear on what's next. Why is that okay for where you're at right now in your business? I guess could be another way to frame it, but like, why are you at this place right now? Help me understand why you believe it is what it is right now.
I'm not sure I quite understand what you're meaning.
So your sentiment about, well, you're here, but you're not, you don't know what your next step is. You're kind of like,
Okay.
for guidance, you're kind of stuck. And all I'm asking you is, why is it that way? I don't know your journey, and I'm trying to understand from your experience, like, where are you at and why do you believe it is what it is right now? So I can best guide you to say like, okay, I think I got it. Here's what I see. Let's break through. Yeah.
Well, I've been self-employed for 31 years. I do flooring, restore flooring. At 56, I need to move on because I've kind of neglected that because I don't enjoy it, and it hasn't been bringing in enough money consistently for me to be interested enough in it. I've tried other things. I've tried day trading. I did that for 5 years whilst doing the flooring. Couldn't make that work. It's probably one of the hardest ways to earn a living, actually, isn't it? It's, you know, it's gambling, and found I didn't have deep enough pockets to get it going. And really, I've had several renewed attempts to get passionate with my flooring business, and I've realized that buying shiny new kit doesn't last for very long, you know, the interest. So I've got a shed load of kit. It was all still quite shiny, some of it, in truth, but yeah, so realistically I need to think to the future because I've got no pension pot. Over the years, self-employed, it's very feast and famine, and I didn't see
But
too
what
many
about
feasts
since you
coming out.
joined? Saul, get me up to speed with since you joined and what's happening.
Since I joined in late September, I've just been working hard through the modules. Feel I understand the principles of it. It's just at what point, I suppose where I've stumbled is that I've paid for the done for you. I'm not quite sure what bits are to be done for me and what I need to actually just crack on with. Like, do I start building the website, or is that something that other people are going to be doing with me? You know, so that's where my confusion is.
Did you have your onboarding call yet when you purchased your bundle?
I did, yes. I've had several calls. I've kind of been dealing with Sabine quite a lot of late. But yeah, I haven't. We're trying to work on my personal brand, which, whether I'm completely thick, I don't know. I presume I am.
No. So I get it. So it's this thing where it's like, because there's a couple things, and I was listening very intently. You want to feel a connection, a passion. There's this essence of that having to be there for you to feel connected to what you're doing, right? This is what created the disconnection in the flooring business. You know, you're disenchanted at this point. And I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay to have a disconnection to what you're doing, because I think you're going to get to the same point, right, that you are in the flooring business. So having that, listening to you, I think is important. So the work that you're doing with Sabine is going to help you find the meaning, the stickiness, the brand, the voice, the messaging. And think of that track through platinum. That's your done for you element. Is you're going to work with Sabine to understand the essence of your brand and then put that into a website and like build the assets around that brand, that vision, and what you come up with. So the other thing is do you wait at idle while you're developing that before you start marketing? And I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't. So what I would do is like, well, are you doing the right thing? How do I get on track to make it happen? And I'd be happy to do like a 30-minute call with you and then kind of pitch up to Martin once you and I kind of shook the tree and I feel like you're at a good place and we're on the same page. And then I can empower like, hey, Martin, I just connected. And I can connect with Sabine and get all the coaches on board. But what I feel for me personally, Saul, how I would approach where you're at in your situation is I'd build my brand, I'd build the bigger thing, I'd put my energy into that stickiness and that meaning because it's important to you, but I wouldn't stay idle. I would get my funnel up, I would learn marketing, I would get a little budget, and I'd start developing my skill of messaging and targeting and looking at data and what is that data telling me and how do I improve my marketing? Because if you're not doing that, you're just studying the business right now. You're not building it. So right now, and it's okay, since September, you've been nothing but a student of the business. My advice is become a business owner, become an entrepreneur, become a marketer as soon as you can. And that means get in the act of marketing. And then my advice would be take a two paths, one to build the long-term thing that's going to be, you know, your bigger brand vision, but like, let's start getting a funnel out there. Who do you think your avatar is? Let's start targeting. Let's start testing that brand message. Let's start nailing that voice. Let's start learning that hard skill. And now you're going to feel like, oh, yeah, I got that bigger thing that is important to you. And you're starting to learn that hard tactical skill now, because that's a learning curve too. And I think if you're pushing that way with both of those threads, everything, you're going to feel like, okay, I believe that it's that gap of progression that you're feeling the way that you are right now. So I think it's in that type of approach that will work for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I heard.
Yeah, that puts it into place for me, because I wasn't sure whether I was, you know, having to follow the one path and at some point split off. But no, that makes sense to me. So get cracking with the ambassador program. And yeah, so the other is a slow burner in relation to that.
Yeah, now let me ask you, the brand that
So
you're
it's
building, all
alongside
that, is that part of your affiliate business, or is that your separate thing that you're doing? Or are those two connected?
Well, when I started, I was just thinking I had no ideas as such. So when I discovered the ambassador program, I thought, okay, that looks really good. You know, everything's there for me. I still haven't got any other ideas of whether I want to do products or something, but I'm sure that they'll sort of simmer and develop as ideas as I gain more experience. So yeah, I'm quite open-minded about it all.
Okay, so
yeah,
the branding will be built on the essence of your affiliate stuff. So yeah, it's all congruent, and I think you're going to learn too by marketing to develop your brand stuff. And this is something that the reason why you got coaching, you got all that, is to take action as you go, right? Our environment is not like, hey, get through all of Launchpad and study, and then do it. It's like step as you go. And let's kind of shift that focus, because I think it's just a focus thing. And once you have that, like, hey, I'm just going to start marketing, get that going, all of your calls and activity will foster that strategy. So I think it's a decision that if that feels aligned with where you're at, we just execute on it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you've got absolutely everything with that ambassador package. You know, you get the website. It's all ready to publish. It just requires a little bit of editing.
Yeah, Mary, she asked, how do you do that without the brand? I just want to touch on this too. So
yeah.
You know, I didn't have a perfect brand. I had Loyal 9 marketing. That was based on the Loyal 9 merchants that started the American Revolutionary War. And that was like, because we were a stand for freedom and all that stuff. So that was like my brand that tied to Launch You. We were called Loyal 9. And I didn't have that when I first started as an affiliate, right? Do you need to have a polished brand to start making sales as an affiliate online? No. You're an affiliate of Launch You. We have a powerful brand. Now, naturally, you could create your brand on the ad, email, landing page, thank you page side to pass them off to Launch You. But here's what I'll say. What do people really, now the brand's great for building trust. So they see your vision, your mission. The brand, what makes a brand powerful is the messaging. It's the voice of the brand, the story behind the brand, the reasons on why behind the brand. You could communicate all of that stuff in your marketing without the bells, the whistles, the icon, the logo, the pretty little website. So think of the marketing as a way that you're kind of developing your brand through the voice. And that's the most powerful part of your brand. It's that voice. So they kind of work hand in hand, right? They kind of work hand in hand. So I'd think of it that way, Mary Lou. That's how you do it without your brand, because it's kind of the same thing. They're not exclusive of one another.
Okay. All right. Good. Anything else coming up in the chat, Mitch? While you're having a nose around there, I just when Justin was speaking at the very beginning of this call, it reminded me we were talking about doing the doing the uncomfortable, weren't we? There's actually a channel on YouTube called Yes Theory, and their tagline is "Seek discomfort." And these guys, they go off, you know, on adventures and experiences. One of them was with Wim Hof, and they walked up to the top of a snow-covered mountain in their underpants. It was all about the cold. That's a great episode. But there's also, regarding this idea of challenging ourselves, this is part of the hero's journey. And there was a chap named Joseph Campbell who was he was a philanthropist. He was a student of humankind, and he figured out the hero's journey. All right, and there's a lovely. I would recommend this to everybody on this call. There's a lovely documentary on YouTube called Finding Joe. The Joe in the title is Joseph Campbell, but the documentary is all about the hero's journey, and it's your story. It's the story of every man and every woman on planet Earth. And there are little sayings and phrases that pop up in there, like the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. You will have to fight dragons if you want if you want more, if you want to become more, have more, do more, be more. Okay. So what else is coming up, Mitch? You're muted, man.
Yeah, I've unmuted. It just takes me a little bit longer than you. Kevin McCarthy, jump on, you're live.
Okay, good.
Hi, Mitch. Thank you. And hi, Justin. Yeah, my question there, I heard you speaking. I've been going through the 2022 YouTube challenge, and there was one, I think it was module 3 or week 3 on that. But yeah, you spoke eloquently as ever about, you know, how you come across in creating your YouTube advert, and, you know, not that we needed not to be, you know, to be confident, I guess, and not to come across as being desperate. And that, I guess, that is a balancing act when you're starting out, because, you know, you are desperate a bit for a result that you haven't got yet. And you know, that line I've just quoted there, that you said you need to your intention needs to be connected with from your heart, you know, when you're speaking to your potential customers, I guess, and you're not actually. And yeah, my question is, I guess, about, you know, how you would you know, there's two sort of contradicting things there, to have an intention from your heart when you don't know, you haven't got the results yet, and do you need to fake that a little bit?
That old cherry. Yeah.
So the illusion is that they're connected. That's your reality, not mine. So you're saying that I can't speak from the heart because I don't have results. That's pretty much what you just told me.
No, I'm saying me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess when I guess the thing I'm selling is something I haven't experienced.
Maybe, but think of it this way. You know, this is the imposter syndrome that everyone kind of goes through, and it could be the demise of somebody's journey if they let it. Now, I'm not advocating fake it till you make it, because nobody wants the fake version of you. They're not going to buy into the fake version of you. Let's talk about results, right? And this is what I teach in the Influence Mastery Summit at Accelerate With You. This is one of the things I teach, where I tell people no income claims when you're marketing. Okay, so if there's no income claims for proof when you're marketing, how much do your results really matter to marketing? They don't. Nobody cares about your results. How much do your results have to do with my success? In reality, what's the truth? How much of your results have to do with my results?
None.
0. If you made $1 million, people probably wouldn't even believe you if you told them. But you're thinking like, I've done it. So the essence is you're communicating a core belief, a truth, an insight. You got to get to the vibration of, I'm communicating a truth and an insight. What people respond to in marketing is not your results. They're going to respond to an insight that takes one of their false beliefs shifts it to the right belief on how they can get their own result. That's the key to marketing. Any good marketer is going to tell you this. Anyone who truly understands the psychology of marketing is going to tell you that. It has nothing to do with your results. What's an insight that I can share about that person's world and their life so they choose me and my solution? And that insight, how do I make it an insight? Well, it's contradicting and turning a belief that they have and turning it into a new one, right? I'm going to make them feel understood. I'm going to make that person feel like I understand them more than they understand themselves. You have to demonstrate empathy, understanding like what that person's going through in that 9 to 5, if you're talking about Launch You, or how they feel trapped, how they feel like they can't sacrifice their family. You got to understand their fear, what's stopping them, their constraints about pursuing an online business, technology, all this. If I don't address those constraints in your marketing, they're not going to, that constraint wasn't addressed. It's going to stop the people who have that constraint. But if I put content out there that really understands how people think and how they make decisions and how I can be influential in that conversation and share an insight, that's what gets people to buy in marketing and business. It's not results. It's not your ego about your own journey. That's not what people are buying into. You have to learn the hard skill of how to be influential. Then you're going to get results. But that's also what's responsible for people acting, is being influential. It's not results. Now, sure, showing social proof and results helps the influence. I get that. But it's not the only thing or end all be all. So that's how people who are new succeed. They start by being a student of marketing and understand the psychology of marketing and telling stories and attacking constraints and sharing insights that about somebody's problem that they want to solve. That's why we do business. And when you learn that, your results have nothing to do with it. It's your ability to communicate that will warrant the result.
Mm-hmm.
I said a lot there.
Yeah, you said it so much better than any of us could have done as well. Yeah. So yeah, Kevin, how was that? Are you any the wiser?
That is great, really. Yeah, you know, I think as you said, Justin, that, you know, whatever my results or, you know, John's results or Mike's results do not guarantee anything for me. You know, it makes no difference to me. So yeah, I kind of get that.
Give it this way, Kevin. We're marketing a 9 to 5 audience. Hey guys, I left my 9 to 5. I started selling this powder. I'm making $1 million online. Get this free training and show you exactly how I ditch this. Okay. Cool. All right. You see it all the time, right? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry in front of their Lamborghini or Ferrari or blah, whatever. So here's another way to market to a 9 to 5, right? I can create an insight, right? Where, hey, you want more time, you want more money, you want more freedom. But I want to ask you one question. The answer to this question is going to be the difference, and what you do after it's going to be the difference of the reality that you create. Right now, for you to make money, do you have to trade time to make money? Right? And I was like, okay, your problem is you want more time and money. How do you solve that problem if the only skill you have is I got to trade more time to make more money? How do you solve the problem at hand? You can't. It's broken. The reason why you don't have more time and money is because the skills that you have will not allow you more time and more money. The only way you can solve your time and money problems is I got to earn enough time, earn enough money while I'm trading time for money to retire. That's called retirement. How's that working for you? Right? You need to learn skills around systems, using systems, technology, and other people. Those are the 3 things that can replace you. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no easier place to do that than online. And I'm going to share with you a video series that's going to show you how people with no skills, know nothing about this, manual laborers, blue collar workers who are leaving their 9 to 5s, and instead of learning trading time for money skills, they're learning on how I can learn skills using systems, technology, and other people to sell products and services from the comfort of their home worldwide.
At scale.
So what message is going to have more of an impact on somebody at a night? When I shared that learning, they cannot unlearn that insight. It's going to haunt them. And if you're not doing that in your marketing, if I'm not taking a belief and I'm demonstrating an insight that's a new belief, well, this is a skill that everyone needs to work on, because when I communicate something that powerful, somebody in a 9-to-5 who's sitting there who really heard my message and thinking like, I am not going to get out of this time and money problem with this skill set. I got them. They can't escape. Whether they click on that day or they come back to me a week later, if they heard the message, they're not going to be able to unlearn it. I got you. That's the level you want to be on in marketing. If you're communicating to your audience and you know who your audience is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're going to become a student of this, Kevin, and it's just the most endlessly fascinating subject that you can get involved in, because we're talking about human behavior.
Yeah. I love it. And why is that, John? I don't want to dismiss what you just said. Like, oh, who gives a shit, right? Who cares? Why do I need to learn like communicating? You know why? Because it influences your story. Your story creates your reality. Right? You know, when I became a powerful salesperson and marketer, it's when I took my own crap on. It's when I went through my own darkness. It's when I faced my fear. It's when my dad died of brain cancer. It's when I made mistakes. It's when I was lost and I found myself. I didn't speak this way when I was in the mortgage business. I didn't speak this way in my earlier sales and marketing career. This level of confidence, clarity, my unconscious tonality, how I anchor, how passionate. I didn't speak this way. It's my journey and my entrepreneurship. Your journey will bring this out in you. And it's the minute I face that, it's the minute, like John said, whatever fear is in the cave is going to have the treasure in that cave, whatever the hell that saying is. There is so much truth to that saying. And it's not just in like, there's facets to it. Back to you, John.
Yeah. No. Back to Kevin. So, what any follow-up commentary on that, Kevin?
None other than it's been really helpful and very insightful, and yeah, it's given me a lot of food for thought, and yeah, certainly continue building the skills, I think.
Yeah, and think about how you're building those skills, right? Because like your environment and how is going to determine your ability to learn and apply them, right? This is why I do the Influence Mastery Summit the way that I did, because I know that somebody watching a video are they going to really learn, right? So the way that I coach people through this in our Accelerate program for influence is we do exercises with the principal, right? So it's like I have them intellectually think about it. Then I have them learn by scrutinizing somebody else or looking at because now they're pegging what they learned to an observation. And then we share, then we do it. So we have to pass from intellect, the intellectual mind, pass through the emotional triggers that would stop you or enable you, to the doing, and then doing it consistently enough where it's a becoming. I know it. I know how to write an ad to get a response. This is what we're doing here. So when I think about my success here as an entrepreneur, so I learn, right? And the way I do like different ways of teaching is I want it to pass through somebody's environment where they're behaving consistently. That's the key. Because if any of you can behave consistently with the right skill, it's game, set, match. It's over. You got what you know how to get what you're looking for. That's the pinnacle of what you all want to get to. I want to develop my skill enough where I am the person who knows how to execute that on call, on demand, like Stuart. Stuart doesn't guess himself. Oh, I don't know what to do when I'm creating this webinar to sell Launchpad. He knows exactly what to do, how to do it, how to create it, how to put it out to a new audience, whatever audience, and make it work. There's no guesswork. He understands that. And my advice is whatever you guys need to develop that and become that person, give yourself that. Whatever it is. And if you're giving yourself a no, whatever reason you gave yourself a no for, budget, fear, rejection, money, time, solve that problem, because that's what's stopping you. Your no is the thing that's stopping you, whether you realize it or not, at an unconscious level. Why would you give yourself a no if the journey is telling you that you need it? Because you don't agree with it? But you never did it before. How would you even know that what you're agreeing with is accurate? That's real talk. It takes courage to step into that. It does. But I want to invite you guys to do it. You won't be disappointed of what you see about yourself on the other side to that. That's where your power is, right? Don't defer yourself. I see people shrink themselves in all these weird ways on their journey. No, who am I? I can't do that. No, that problem's way bigger than my ability. Yeah, right. You're telling me the perception about your circumstance is more powerful than your ability to change the circumstance. Now you see how we manipulate and lie to ourselves all the time. If you're ever giving yourself a no to something you need on your journey, that is the problem in itself. Address it head on.
This is the wonderful thing about this journey. It's not, I mean, some of us are maybe promoting a business education, get with internet marketing skills and automate or largely automate your income. But it's so much more than that, isn't it? This is it's a journey of personal development and growth, and you're going to step into leadership. And what I didn't realize until the first member came in, well, when that first member came in, all of a sudden, I'm now being regarded as an authority and a leader and someone to look up to, and there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I'm growing, and this is the journey that you're on as well, Kevin. This is your own expansion that's happening. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Can't get enough. Okay.
Before we jump to Natasha, there's one gentleman who's been waiting. Andrew Christian Brooks has had a question in the chat for a while. Andrew, come out and ask Justin, and then Natasha will jump straight back onto you.
Yeah, hi, Justin.
Hey, Andrew.
I listened to your broadcast in August. I've learned a lot from Launch You. I'm really excited about it all. We had a few problems in the UK. All our costs have doubled. So I retired on state pension, but then all my costs shot through the roof. Still have a bit of a mortgage. And so I'm a bit screwed is the word, probably. Apologies for that word. So I'm having to hang around a little while, but I'm sweating, wondering whether I'm going to get cancelled out by Launch You because I've missed one payment. I'm keen to get going, but I simply don't want to borrow. And there's no other way forward until I can find a way to get a bit of extra cash. How long before you get shut out?
So I don't know what payment you missed or not missed. You're talking about your Launchpad?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like within, I don't even want to misspeak. I don't know if they give you 7, 14, or 30 days. I don't know, but do me a favor.
Yeah.
Send me an email, Justin@Mentors, just so I have your email, and send it from the email that's on record that you signed up with, just so when I forward it to support. Let me just do some digging. So the problem that you have is your resource problem, right? Money problem. And that's common. So the challenge that you have, and I totally get the world we live in, expenses here in the United States, it's like crazy. I go to the grocery store and feel like I'm spending $300-400 every time I walk in there and I'm getting nothing. And I'm like, Jesus, it's like even from like 2 or 3 years ago, that difference is real. Naturally, I don't ever want that to be a reason why I can and can't. So I want to think so much bigger and abundantly than ever to have that be a reason why I can or cannot. So that's the goal. How do we get to that higher level of lifestyle? So as you know, you're here doing that. That's why you're here. So that money challenge, I don't know how you solve it, right? But I know that you're aware of that you have to solve your money challenge. So that's only teaching you how to be resourceful, because you do need capital and operating capital to build a business or to right? It's like you need time, effort, and money. Whenever you're short on one of those resources, time, effort, or money, you're going to need more of the other two. So if you're shorter on money, you're going to need more time and effort. If you have money, you can spend a little bit less time with that effort and money to get it going. So it's like there's like a balance of it. So I don't have that answer, but there's many ways you can solve it. Does anyone want to take on debt? No, but that's a limitation in your ability to create. I'm not going to tell you to take on debt or not take on debt. That's something you're going to have to think about. But what are the other ways you could fund your business? If that's, because again, there's bad debt, I believe, and Kiyosaki talks about that. There's good debt. You could sell things. You can learn a skill. There's things you could do for work. I don't know, what your asset profile is like, but if you need money, my advice is think, all right, well, how can you solve that problem to fund your business? And look at it objectively, and then go down that path. Or you're going to be subject to that circumstance, and you're going to be at the mercy of, well, I'm helpless in my circumstance. Because part of even the way you were speaking about it was, I'm just going to kind of give my power a little bit to this circumstance. I'm going to challenge you to do the opposite. Whatever that looks like for you, I'm going to challenge you now to do the exact opposite. And I'll look into your situation and kind of give you some feedback on what's going on there. But just send me an email so I can dig into that.
Sure,
and we can discuss this further if you want, but I want to see you win. So if there's anything else you want to ask me or jump into, let me know.
Well, I don't want to create myself as some special, because I'm not. No, you're absolutely right on that. And I will try a bit harder. So I've gone through a process where I've learned a lot. Not an excuse, but I have a mental block in education.
Which is?
Well, I can't sit and concentrate with reading matter. I've always been the same from childhood for a variety of reasons. So I can't sit down, for example, with a magazine and read it because I get bored too easily. I'm so need to consume things so fast that I need to know what to do. Someone just tell me, what are the buttons to put? Like it was when I was learning computers. I didn't want to sit all day with a load of day release people learning the same thing over and over. I just wanted to, what are the buttons I need to push to design this leaflet and in what order? And so, yeah, I did. I paid someone to do that, to show me what to do. And I learned how to do desktop publishing in about a month.
And how did the outcome from that, how'd that work? Did you succeed in that approach?
I did. And,
do the same thing here. What you're doing is you're letting a circumstance stop you from getting the wisdom or the person to point and direct you. And you're kind of leaning towards, well, I got to do it on my own. And you hate reading and doing it on your own because it's too slow. I'm going to tell you, I'm just like you, Andrew. I hate reading. I freaking hate it. When I sit there to the point, I'm like, oh my God, I want to punch myself in the face because it's taking too long. Give me the audiobook. I'd rather download it quicker. Somebody demonstrate it. Like, I want to see it. I get it. It's the struggle is real, Andrew. I get it. I am the same way. But your thing is you acknowledge what you need. Stop telling yourself no. Give yourself what you need. You already proven that I make it work when I have it this way. Why would you negate that?
Well, I suppose my next question is, because even though I've been temporarily locked out because I couldn't do the month's money. So I've been still busy and I've still been active trying to learn what I'd already learned. And I know the process, but there's still a lot that really need to drill down to what is the actual, say, doing Facebook ads. What is the sort of ads, call to action, free gift, offer, sign up, and so on. But there's quite a bit to drill down there and to get it right. Does Launch You offer a cheat sheet option where I can just, you tell, oh, I suppose it's but then you need the money, you see. So
The cheat sheet,
yeah.
if you're a Launch You affiliate, the biggest cheat sheet is Ignite.
Right.
Hands down, bar none. It's $2,000. If you can't, I'd say you can't afford not to do it. You're going to make a case like, Justin, I can't afford to do it. Based on what you shared with me, I'm the opposite. How it is successful, you can't afford not to do it based on what you need and how you achieve this. That's the way I think about the investing part, right? Until you give yourself a reason on, well, shit, I can't afford not to do it. That's the reason when all that other story you're coming up with doesn't matter. It all falls by the wayside and you're going to do one thing. You're going to get after it, right? But the cheat sheet is Ignite. That's where I have like Mike, John, the best of our affiliates, just show you their playbook. They're just showing you specifically for the affiliate business, if that's what you're doing. Hey guys, here's my playbook. Here's what I'm doing to get a result. Just like Caroline did that with the YouTube challenge towards the end of 2023, the newer one that we just shot. So yeah, I mean, you are the cheat sheet.
Sorry to interrupt, Justin. We're looking at the top of the hour. We want to try and squeeze one more question in from, is it Natasha? She's got a hand up.
So sorry, Andrew, she's just been.
No, that's all right. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you, Andrew.
Mitch, is this Mitch's scheduling coming out? You're giving me anxiety, Mitch.
Yeah, Justin, 1700 is 1900 is 1900, but we do want to squeeze Natasha in.
Hi, and I feel like I'm really sorry that I stopped Andrew, because a lot of your questions, and in fact, by the way, hi, I'm in the UK. I've got the same accent as Mitch because I'm originally from the same African area as you, but I've lived in the UK for a long time. My questions, a lot of them have been answered, but I actually am quite neurodivergent. So I was kind of wanting to cut to the chase, and then little bit by little bit, I'm getting the information from different people, which is nice. So I think it was Barbara down the bottom who was asking, do I do this? Do I do that? And I love the way you answered. It was like, who are you? So my question is, are we selling ourselves or are we selling a product? And as we're getting more into the questions, I'm seeing it's a bit of both. But what was coming to me is the sort of chicken and egg situation, which one first? My issue is that I'm absolutely afraid of technology. So even just coming on here today this is me facing my demon, just speaking. So bear with me.
I'm bearing. You got the floor is all yours.
But I won't take up too much time because I don't want to, just fluff around and talk about me. But I really liked what you were talking about, Justin, with the time, effort, and money. And I've got the time now. My kids are grown up. I live on my own, just me and the dog. I want to work, but I want to actually the dog. I want to actually. There's a two-pronged approach, and it might get more, but I kind of need to make some more money. I'm in the same position as a lot of these people here, where there's not a retirement fund coming in. I'm starting to panic as I come towards 60, going, oh, okay. I mean, in the UK, it's difficult. I don't want to go into a victim about it all, but I want to get to the place where I can be like my kids. I can be completely au fait on the new IT skills that are coming out. So my question is, right, how do I put my question in? Is I kind of wanted to know a similar thing to Barbara, and you sort of answered it. And as I heard, I need things in a kind of step-by-step instruction thing. And I'm just wanting to ask in a cognitive way, I wanted to ask, will we get the coaching in order for us to find out which step-by-step works for us, if that makes sense?
Are you in, so when you say, will you get the coaching, like, are you in Accelerate or Accelerate with you and you're not getting that?
Sorry, so I've just literally started. I only literally got in to launch you last night, so I'm right
Oh,
completely
okay. Whoa, okay. So slow down a little bit.
okay. So
Okay,
I'm
so
kind
you're
of thinking, okay, so this is my first. So all right, okay.
Natasha, okay. Okay.
So more will become apparent
Yeah,
if I.
yeah, totally. Here's what I want you to do, Natasha. Next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Join me on the new member orientation workshop.
Okay.
All right, 2 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Register for the new member orientation workshop. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of set the stage.
Right.
For
Okay.
we
Well,
have to get into.
something a little bit ahead of me. Okay.
Yeah, I love you're a forward thinker. I love where your mind's at. So we're not apologizing for anything. No need to. I got your
Okay.
back. So new member orientation, and then you're going to book your vision call.
Yeah.
Wait till the orientation call. You could book it beforehand. Get on that call, have your vision call. Then we're going to kind of lead you into understanding more about our ecosystem, what's possible, and how this first step could look like for you. That's what we're going to take the time to discover on those calls and webinars.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you. And I think I've got a some sort of call with John anyway tomorrow, so it'll become more apparent. So thank you. It was just like I was suddenly thinking, am I missing something here? But I've just come into.
Oh, you're new. You're like
newbie completely. Yeah.
You're hot off the press, and the kudos to you for being on this webinar, just joining, and just like I was like thinking, you're talking like you've been here for weeks. So all this is going to come together next week for you. And again, my email is justin@mentors. If you need anything, just send me a note. I can connect you with the right person in the team, answer it directly if I have the ability to do so. But we got your back, and looking forward to you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And I just want to say it's been so enlightening just hearing the different questions and what's actually why people are coming on this in the first place, and how we all kind of learn, because just looking at everybody's sort of my age and a little bit, and I sort of feel with our kids that little bit younger, they just seem to know how to do all of this stuff, and I feel if I don't get on board now, I'm going to, and if we don't get on board now, we are going to be so left behind, because it's just zooming on to, IT skills all the way. So, yeah, we've got to do this. We've got to get to grips with the new programs.
Yeah, that's a great way to wrap things up, Natasha. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, 1-to-1. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Going to say thank you to everybody. If there are any unanswered questions, just drop an email to whoever you received the invitation for to this call. Okay. It is so we're not ignoring you. We've run out of time. People have got places to go and families to look after and so forth. So we're gonna wrap it all up. I'll look, Mitch and Mike, do you want to say a goodbye to everybody, and then we'll just leave Justin with the final words.
Just like to say thank you for attending. Thank you for investing the time. Hopefully it's been worthwhile. I've enjoyed it. I've also learned a lot, and I've been here 5 years. So really enjoyed this call. And yeah, just focus on yourself, focus on investing yourself, get what you need, carry on moving forward. You're in the right place. That's all I want to say.
Similar from me, you just got to do it. Just follow the course, do the work, do the steps. You do get there. I promise you, you do get there.
Okay, Justin, over to you for the final words. Thank you.
All right. So first off, I hope that, I get intense about this stuff. I just jump right in. Part of what I'm getting used to is not apologizing for it, because I almost don't want to come across to a certain way to people. But then there's this side to me that doesn't really care. I can tell you that openly. I really can, because my intentions and my heart are in the right place. And it's like, I just want to kind of give you as much as I can. But at the end of the day, what matters is, what do we want to give ourselves? And, if there's anything I could tell you guys, there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Like, some of you are, you're at that end of your career. Maybe your money's limited, maybe not. Look, I get it. But the people who are going to succeed You know, you can even ask yourself, well, how do successful people approach their challenges? How do they fund their businesses? How do they step into things like that? How do they act if they're restricted? You're going to choose to be either a victim or a creator as your challenges in life, but you can't be both. And my thing is when has being a victim ever created what you want to create in life? The answer is it hasn't, and it never will. You can only be a victim or a creator, but you can't be both. So know that if you're a victim to your circumstance, if you're letting your circumstance, poor me, boohoo, I can't, I'm giving myself a no, just know that that's a victim mentality. And know that that's the root of the problem you have to address right in itself. Period. It's not my opinion. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. And there's a lot of people who can reflect this back to you on your own journey. I want to remind all of you, there's nothing to be scared of. You're going to find out how powerful you are on the other side to this. I did share one slide for some of you who may not be in this beginning. We kind of like had a higher level conversation today. Mitch may kill me because I'm going to go an extra 5 minutes here, but I don't care. What I want to just remind you guys of is of one thing. Like, this is your funnel, right? You're trying to get people to, if you're an affiliate or if you're in your own business, you're bringing people into your funnel. So whatever business you have, right? You're targeting to an audience, you're putting a message in front of them, you're sending them to your landing page so they can opt in. You're probably thanking them and giving them what you promised them on the thank you page. And then you're sending them to your offer. If you're an affiliate, it's Modern Wealthy. Everyone who's trying to succeed online is doing this, selling products and services. So your success is going to come down to this. As much as we're going to sit here and talk about what we're talking about today, or about what should everyone be focused on for affiliate coaching, I don't care what you're marketing online. What's responsible for every single person's success on the internet, if you're a Fortune 100, 500 company, or if you're just getting started, everyone's success on the internet comes down to who are you targeting? And what are you saying? So if you're caught in like, oh, I got to get my avatar perfect before I can market, you're losing. If you're sitting here thinking like, I want to waste 5 months on getting my website done perfectly, you're losing. If you're going to like get ready, I'm going to go through all of Launchpad just so I feel good enough with the information to protect some false belief about your confidence, that's not what you need. This is what creates your success. So once your funnel's ready, once your website's done, once you have the storefront, once you're out of the launch phase, your success is who are you targeting and what are you saying, right? When you're targeting, what makes you good at targeting is understanding your avatar, right? You are your avatar. So all of this notion, like Stuart talks about the money's in the avatar, yeah, that's all true, but you don't have to, you may have to market for 3 months to figure out your perfect avatar. You may have to refine your message to figure out your perfect avatar. But you are your avatar, right? Our mentors will teach you this. And if not, when you get through your customer avatar exercise, you're going to realize that everything in this customer avatar exercise is what you need in order to message powerfully. Once you fill this out accurately into the depths of it, you even know where to target, you know what their interests are, you know what they're doing online. When you get to this meaningful influence part about their fears, frustrations, and desires, and you know how people think about their reality, well, your avatar and how can I target those people on the platform That's the first thing. Who's seeing the message? And the next thing is, well, what are you saying? Are you a student of influence, copywriting, storytelling, and epiphany? There's going to come to a point when your business is all said and done and you're ready to market. This is the only thing you're focused on. Targeting, testing messages, and studying influence, copywriting, storytelling. This is the key to winning. And all you want to do as a marketer to win is I want to test different audiences and different messages through the people, test a different message on my ad, test a different landing page, test a different thank you page until the data in your funnel is where you need it. And then when you market, you start getting numbers. The key to marketing is I market, I put ads out there. The numbers tell me where I have to create my next piece of content, because it's either working or it's not to get the result. It's very strategical in science to make marketing work, right? Get launched, get your businesses up. Everyone's success comes down to who are you targeting and what are you saying? And then you're just going to get good at looking at what your efforts have done and creating new content. Don't complicate it. If what I just said sounds complicating, it's not. It's easier said than done, obviously. But do not complicate it. If you're working with our coaches, say, hey, I just got off with a call with Wolf. He said, what's going to make my marketing success is who am I targeting and what am I communicating? And they're going to say, he's absolutely right. Let's make sure you get really good at that. And make sure that that's the skill you're developing. You'll crush it. You can even ask Mitch. When did Mitch break through? When he targeted the right person, he put that video, he got that right message out to the right audience and his whole business changed. Right? That's it for me.
Yeah, thank you very much, folks.
Thank
As
you,
I said,
Justin. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone. Go on.
any outstanding questions, just drop a line to whoever you receive your invite from. Go, Mike.
Stay safe, everyone. Just want to say goodbye and thank you again.
Thanks, guys. Beautiful.
Thank you, Justin.
Over.
If you guys have anything, justin@mentors.com. Let me know. Be good. Be safe. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys and being
Thanks,
an advocate.
Justin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Be good.